Hello. How's it going?
It's going very well. It's good. I meant to tell you too. That's if anybody out there's lives in New Zealand like I do, we've had some crazy weather and AK and I were actually filming for our upcoming course the other day, got knocked offline.
Yeah.
When a crazy squall came through. We ended up getting a tornado the next day, hit in
Oh my
Paragram, not
gosh.
that far from where you used to live when you lived here, my dear.
No.
But yeah, that came through and it's just been some crazy. I sit here a lot and just like look out my window. I'm like, oh, I'm so lucky. I love that I'm here in New Zealand. And then now I look
And
out
then
there,
a
I'm like,
tornado sounds
there's a
like.
tornado. It was crazy. We had hail coming down. That's like, oh my gosh, power went out. It was just nuts. Like,
Oh God.
weather's serious business, man.
Well, today's episode, I think it's our last episode of April, is it?
It is. This is the
Yeah.
last one for April, and it's been our engagement tips and tricks.
Yeah, all about
Mm,
engagement in April.
so good.
Yes. And so today we're teasing a few of the things we have coming up, which I'm super excited about. And we've just recorded some of the things for our course.
I am
That's
giddy
coming
about
out
them.
soon. I know,
Excuse me.
it's gonna be so fun. But one of the sections in our course, we talk about 13 very common TikTok tropes. Things that as soon as we say them, you'll see them everywhere. And I think most videos that will ever show up on your For You page will fit into one of those categories,
Definitely.
and once you have them as like a little tool in your toolbox, you can kind of pull them out when you want and play with them and yeah, have a go at all the different ones. And in fact, I think a lot of people who are very successful on TikTok use a combination of quite a few of them. So yes.
Yes. Oh,
So
they're so
so
good.
we're going to talk about 3 of them today and just kind of lightly touch upon them. And if you want to check out all 13, we're going to have more info about the course up soon.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait. Very, very, very soon. But which one should we talk about first? Should we go with the Seinfeld first? Look, I'm whispering.
Okay.
Like nobody else can hear it.
You're whispering
Seinfeld.
on a podcast.
Hey, no one can hear us. Seinfeld. Whoop whoop.
The
Which
Seinfeld.
is a
Um,
relatable one because it's the Seinfeld.
yes.
It's the actor.
I love what's the deal? What's the deal with TikTok?
Am I the only one? Let's see.
It's that as soon as you hear it, like you see it all the time. It's that energy of a question or premise of like am I the only one who didn't know about whatever, or like did you know that like I was today years old? I have never known before that this was a thing. Did you like, it's that kind of voice and energy. And once you hear it everywhere.
Yeah.
But the Seinfeld, like in the same way that his comedy was set up to be kind of like, quote unquote about nothing, but just kind of like about mundane things in a funny, relatable way.
Yeah.
Um, that is what like the Seinfeld is as a TikTok trope. And I feel like I see so much of my For You page is like the Seinfeld questions, of like, what's the deal with emojis? Like, how did I not know that like this was this emoji? And it's kind of like a little bit of like a rant and also kind of like the confused person in a new land sort of setup, like
Yes.
how do I'm just like, and it's also kind of like a little bit of like a grumpy old person
Totally the
vibe,
grumpy old
right? Of
person.
just like
For sure.
all these emojis nowadays are like, what's going on with the TikTok algorithm,
Yes. No, that is one too that I think it's easy, not easy, but it's one that 'cause you get the engagement and the question right at the top, and it's just the bringing somebody in to your bubble of relatability because it's that you give somebody that moment, you're giving them a platform of going, hey, am I the only one? So that as a follower, you see that and that's your cue. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I just learned that as well. Like that's where people start chiming in and you start to build that engagement. And so, and it's one of those 13 tropes that you do. Like I see it constantly. I love using it because there is just that, just getting out there, just like seeing life through your own eyes is basically what it is, but then finding a fun way to hook it in, and again, like look at your hook, look at the question you're asking when you're doing it and make it all work. So
Yes, exactly. Seinfeld.
that's
Check it out.
one of the threes, the Seinfeld.
Yes.
Second one, I'll let you pick which one you want.
Let's do the movement.
I love
The
the
movement.
movie.
Everybody start moving around a little bit. But there's kind of two ways to do the movement trope, right? And one of them is super simple, and it could just be just like sitting down as you're about to like as the video starts, or like moving into frame,
Yeah,
right? Um, that just like little bit of movement makes it seem like this is a very organic moment that we're now talking to someone.
yeah,
Instead of, quite often with videos that you see, people like have clearly just pressed the record button and then they like take a beat and they start talking, and it's like either you need to edit that first second out of your video,
yeah.
but if you want to level up your game, moving
Mm,
into frame is a really great way of just like capturing people's attention and creating a sense of urgency and making them want to stick around. Um, but then movement throughout the video is another really great way of keeping
brilliant.
people paying attention, even if you might have to get through like some sentences that aren't as exciting or interesting. But if you're moving as you're doing it, like if you're going for a walk, all of a sudden it feels like you're having a chat with a friend. You're just going for a walk and talk,
Yeah.
um, if the person's cooking, if they're knitting, if they're doing something with their hands that you're watching as they're talking.
Yeah.
This is one of the reasons why Get Ready With Me's are so
Yeah.
popular,
Yeah.
because we're all both captivated by the story, if it's a good story on one level, but we're also captivated by like each time they cut the frame, they've like kind of put more makeup on, or they've
Mhm.
changed their outfit a little bit, and you're sticking around to see what the end result is.
Yeah.
Like that
You're
in
invested
itself.
at that point and you want to have the follow, or you want to have the payoff at the end as somebody who's
Exactly. Yeah.
watching. So you're going to hang around for it.
And it also might just be a visual of somebody like building something or cooking something as they're telling a story about something that's completely different,
Yeah.
um, to what they're doing with their hands. Like, so they might be like, constructing something as they're talking about this like time they were at the park or whatever. Those are super effective at getting people to pay attention. It's kind of like the like shiny object a little bit too, of people love to see a progression of things, and they like to see the end results of things. So you can have like a progressive movement, or you can just be walking and talking, but even that is like way more engaging than just having kind of a stationary person just talking to a camera.
And I think one of a good hack when you're doing that, if you're stumbling at the beginning with movement, you're like, I don't, what I do with my hands, I'm confused. Prop your phone up, hit the timer, the countdown on it, and go to that like acting or improv place where you're already moving and doing something when the timer counts down. And then you just kind of turn, look at the camera and start doing your thing. But
Yeah.
definitely it's that movement, bringing people in. There's just something about it that it just brings people right into your world and want to know what's happening. And like you're saying, like stay around, because I want to stick around and see the end result. Somebody else is going to want to
Yeah.
stick around and see yours.
And so if you're trying to get a message across and it's not been really working, try to add some more movement into that video and see if it changes like the level of engagement that you're getting with that video. So give it a go. And I think that we should also mention like the top level of movement is dancing. Like TikTok is a
Is
very
yeah, the
dancing based
dancing thing.
app. So if you feel like it, like I'm just like so not interested in doing dancing videos. But if you want to, that is a very effective way of getting your message across. You could have all sorts of different things popping up. over your video of you dancing, and you
Yes.
would get people watching. Yeah.
And bonus point, I tell you what, if you do one of those videos and you want to share it in the comments with us,
Yes, let us know.
amazing. I will watch, will not do.
Yeah, we will cheer you on.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm not doing it as a favor for everyone that would stumble across that video. They don't need to
But
see
I
me.
mean, we love to, I think all of us feel like, oh, well, we have to be good at it for it to be interesting, but people love watching videos of people dancing badly too, it's like, that's also fun. So yeah.
All right. Our third one is the big feelings. And
Big
this,
feeling.
oh, it's the big feelings. And this one is so good because it's great for when you're happy or if you're trying to get across a positive rant. It's different ways that you're coming in and you are bringing your feelings with you and using, like we call it, the Muppety face. Get your face moving with it. Like let people know, if you're grateful, get yourself on camera. And if you're watching on YouTube, come up into that camera when you're shooting. And if you got to play with a filter because you want to have something else on you when you do that because you don't feel comfortable, do that because you just want the authenticness of your thank you or of the question you're asking or whatever that is with the big feelings that you're trying to get across. But there's just something when you're on and you're happy and you're coming on and like, look what we did. Look at what you guys helped me do. I just punched my glass.
But there's nothing more infectious, is there? When somebody's like really excited about something and they really genuinely want to share it with you,
Yeah.
like it's infectious in the same way. Like I think one of the best hooks is when the video starts with someone laughing. Like something hysterical just happened to them and they have to tell you about it. I love those videos and they're super captivating. And it's because it started with this big feeling. Either it's like excitement or laughter, or sometimes it's someone crying because they're so overwhelmed with gratitude about something, like they hit a pre-order goal or they achieved something that they really wanted to. And I think a lot of us are, we're introverted and we're like these sensitive creative types, a lot of us, and we don't think to share those moments with our followers, even though it's them that we're so grateful for and humbled by and all of these things. And, or even if it's excitement, like so often I'll have authors say to me, like, I hit that pre-order goal, or I got to #1 in my category. And I'm like, are you going to tell your followers? Like, are you going to tell your audience? Like, that's huge. You should be celebrating with them. You should be bringing them into this excitement with you. And they're like, oh yeah. Like
The light comes on. Oh yeah, wait a minute.
yeah,
I should do
because
that.
we forget, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's because we feel self-conscious about it, or it feels like we're bragging and we don't want to be perceived that way. But like genuinely sharing your feelings and like all of this roller coaster of emotions that we go through as creators and as authors, like those are some of the best moments of connection and engagement with your audience, because you are a real person and you're sharing
Yeah.
real big feelings with them. So don't be afraid to, when you have those moments of excitement or success, or just like kind of gratitude, to be sharing those with your audience.
So those are 3 of the 13 TikTok tropes that I have no words because I'm so excited to get out this class when we do, because there are 9. Look at me trying to do math real quick. Like, 9, how many fingers am I holding up? 9 more tropes for us to share with you guys that
Yeah.
are, it's one of these things where I feel like you
10
can
more,
mix and
right? Don't we
match.
have 13?
It's 13. Well, we've given them 3, so we have 9 more. We'll deep dive into those 3. 9 plus 3 is 12. So that's a dozen. See, that's why I write words with letters. Yeah.
Level of like gaslighting that just happened for like,
That's
I wish
like
you
I'm
were.
adding it in my head. And it's like, we're at 13. Like, oh no, we sure aren't.
Oh gosh, we're good at social media, but not so good on the math.
anybody speaks Becca's time, I'm 34 analytics and I am proud of it.
Oh gosh, but there's just so much good stuff in this course that's coming. Like this is just one of the modules. This is just one of the slides. And like
Just one.
talking about all the tropes, like I'm excited for like the content foraging. I'm excited to talk about like how to revive your account after you've been absent for a while and how to launch a book in hype mode and all
Yeah.
those things. Like there's a lot of good stuff that's coming in this course. So
It's a lot of recipes, a lot of fun recipes that you'll get to play with and mix and match, and it's just going to be good. And
hopefully it'll
actually,
spark a lot of ideas and get people more excited to make content on TikTok and also feeling like they have a more sustainable plan, you know, for how they can keep showing up on the platform once the shiny object and excitement of it, you know, kind of wears off. How can you continue to show up on the platform in a fun way? So
yes, giving yourself variety. And I think that those 13 tropes add that variety to it. And it's actually, you get to kind of see a strategy in front of you that then you just play with it. You get to play with that. So, and we're actually going to get to film hopefully a couple more pieces of our class today, we're hoping to do.
yes.
So we'll just tease you guys about it on the podcast as we're doing. Like, don't worry, as soon as we have more on it, if you're on our newsletter, we'll be announcing it to our newsletter subscribers. We'll be talking about it here. If you're in your patron on Patreon,
Yeah, you'll be
you'll
getting a
know.
discount to the course if you're on Patreon too. So
Yes, I can't wait to do that for our patrons.
it's gonna be great. Anyway, yes.
Awesome.
More to come.
More to come. Thanks, everybody. Hope you have a good week.